So if you still remember it, we are only going to consider, if it is a short column, we are only going to consider axial load. No? So it is an actually loaded columns. No? Meaning we are not going to consider the moment that that the column is actually carrying. No? So but take note, no, it is not always that the column is subjected only to compression load. No? Naagin na siya yung moment load. No? But that particular moment produces an eccentricity, and the eccentricity is within or less than the 15 plus 0.03 of h, then we can neglect that particular moment. No? So meaning we are just going to consider only the actual force, or the actual compression force. Okay? Yan. But if the column is a long column, then it's either brace against side sway or not brace against side sway. Wherein in our calculations later on, the moment that the column should carry will be multiplied by the moment magnification factor if it is a slender column. No? So the moment magnification factor is actually there. We try to magnify the moment that the column is carrying in order for us to account for its slenderness effect. No? And it is actually a approximation. No? It is the approximation, no, on what would be the magnification, no, of our moment, no, when the column is actually it is when the column is actually subjected to buckling failure. Alright? So we recall that if it is braced against side sway, we can neglect the slenderness effect if our steel ratio, yung TL over R natin, is simply equal or less than to 34 minus 12 times the ratio of M1 and M2. So take note, because we use a positive a value of M1 over M2 if it is single curvature, and negative if it is a double curvature. And take note, M1 and M2 are end moments. No? It's either, these are end moments. So meaning magbali-bali siya. It's either at the top moment or it's either at the bottom moment. No? Depending on its value. No? M1 should always be less than M2. In other words, the short or the lowest value of the moment that the end moment that a column is subjected into becomes the M1, while the largest end moment that the column is actually carrying is actually becomes the M sub 2. Yeah. So if it is not braced against side sway, it becomes a sway frame. Then we can neglect the slenderness effect if the slenderness ratio is less than or equal to 22. Okay, so we recall these are the parameters, no? And take note, in terms naman sa atong moment of inertia later on, we try to reduce, no, our moment of inertia, considering that the column is cracking. No, it is actually the reduction factor for our cross-sectional moment of inertia. So if it is a beam, we are just going to consider 35% now of our moment of inertia, and 70% or 0.7 of the gross sectional moment of inertia if it is a column. So this is the theoretical value of our K, no? The effective length factor. And so this is the theoretical value. Wherein if you notice here, the values of the K, if it is an unbraced frame, no, or column, meaning it is not braced against side sway, and it is not braced against side sway, unbraced, it becomes a sway frame, no? Yan, ito, ayan. So the value of the K here is greater than 1, no? So for example, like sway siya, no? If it is a fixed supported nga column, no? But the upper is swaying, ayan, 1.2. Ayan. Pag P naman, 2.2, and it is like this, P ng lalong, swaying baba, that is 2.2. But if it is braced column, it is braced against side sway, then if you notice, the effective length factor are actually less than 1. No? So these are the theoretical value, no? Theoretical kinesia. No? Ayan. Wherein, we can actually solve the effective length factor using the Jackson and Moreland alignment chart. No? The Jackson and Moreland alignment chart, which is defined by this particular figure. Okay, so what we are going to do here is simply use the alignment chart to get for the value of the K. No? So the step that we are going to encounter here is actually solving for our epsilon. Ito mga epsilon na to. Wherein the epsilon is actually equal to the dimension of the moment of inertia divided by its length, no, of the column divided by the same, no, the summation of all the moment of inertia of all the beams, no, divided by the anong tawag ito, no, the length, no. Ayan. So kumbaga itong formula na to. Ayan. Okay? So let's have an example. No? Let's try to consider, no, if the column is slender column or not a slender column. No? So take note, if it is a slender column, then we are going to multiply the moment magnification factor. Otherwise, if it is not a slender column, then we don't need, no, to multiply the moment magnification factor. No, unsa yung moment magnification factor? Mao ni actually yung formula, no? Asa to ito. Yan, these are the formulas, no? Or ano yung formula sa ito, ang moment magnification factor. Okay. So for this example, figure shows an brace, no? A brace frame, no? Yan, so brace ya. Alright. So the properties of each beams and columns are tabulated, no? And considering only bending in the plane of the frame, compute the following. So you have effective length factor of the column AB, the slenderness ratio of the column AB, and we also calculate now whether the column AB is a short or slender column, assuming that the moment are of opposite direction, the moments are of opposite direction. That is why it becomes a single curvature. And M1 is 100 kilonewton meter, while M2 is actually equal to 180 kilonewton meter. So, in order for us to solve for the effective length factor, let us use the Jackson-Moreland alignment chart. No? So, itong chart na to. So, to use this chart, we need to solve first the epsilon. No? So, solving for the epsilon, no? Take note, the epsilon is simply equal to the summation of all the moment of inertia divided by its length of all the columns divided by the summation of all the moment of inertia of the beam divided by the length of each beam. So take note, ang ato abaling gamiton karon ng mga columns and mga beams, it is actually dependent on a particular joint that we are trying to analyze. So for example, if you are going to analyze this particular joint, so kuhaan na to ang I over L sa column niya, where in this case, kanira ang iyang column, while for the beam naman, nakay duwa, the left and the right beam. Okay? If you're going to use this, or if you're going to analyze this particular joint, then in this case na siya duha ka column, the upper and the lower, since these are connected to point B, and we also have two columns, no, the left and the right direction. So in this case, the dimensions of all the members are already given. In that case, we can now solve for, or we can now determine the corresponding moment of inertia. Now, of all the columns and the beams. Okay, so ayan. So, for example, at joint A, so this is our joint A. Alright, so let me erase this one first. So, mo na itong joint A, so meaning na atay nag-connect diha ang isa ka column and naapo dahil nag-connect diha nga beam, upper beam, nga duha ka buok. Okay, so ang dimension niya 300 by 450, wherein ang iyang moment of inertia is actually ito, yan. For the column naman, isaram na diya iyang shape, yung moment of inertia na is this one. So we are just going to use the formula, no? Yan, summation of the I over L of all columns connected to that joint, and summation of I over L of all the girders or beams connected on that joint. But take note, in the formula, we need to apply our crack reduction factor, or crack reduction for our moment of inertia. Wherein for columns, we use only 70%, and for the beams naman, we use 35% or 0.35. No? So itong mga values na yan. Yan, yung reduction factor na yan. Okay, so meaning in that case na at 0.7 times the I of our column AB divided by the length. No? Take note, the length here is actually measured joint to joint, no, of the column. Yan. joint to joint. So that is 3 meters. And for the beams naman, same pa rin, joint to joint, na kay reduction, na kay moment of inertia nga 2 to 7.8, then multiply it by 0.35 as our reduction factor for the moment of inertia divided by the length of 6,000 and 7,200. Now for this beam, and left beam, and the right beam, the length are 6 and 7.2. So using this, we have A and epsilon of equal to 2.99. And at point B naman, same procedure. But if you notice in this case, no, duha na kabuk na to ang column, since joint B here is actually connected to column AB and this particular lower column of the same dimension. So mahimo na siya karong nga duha ka buok nga 0.7 of I sub C all over L sub C. Wherein same procedure, you use the lower column, lower beam, since these are the beams that are connected to point B of our column arrangement. So after that, we solve an epsilon B of 2.314. And using the epsilon A and B, ato na siya i-plot, no, sa ato ang alignment chart. No? So in this case, alpha A or epsilon A is 2.99. So more or less it is approximately the same, or at the level of the 3.0. While the B naman, that is 2.314. So this is 3, this is 2, this is 2.5. Ang tunga na linya siya. So ang 2.3 more or less na niya. So in this case, we derive a value of 0.75. No, this is not 0.75. No. This is not actually 0.75. No. So, more or less, na siya sa pila ba? Let me correct our solution here. Ayan. So, siguro, if this is 0.8, this is 0.85, this is 0.9, maybe this is 0.875. Na? 0.875. So, tunga bali sa 0.85 and 0.9. So, tendency is, mo din na ato ang ibutang diri. This is 0.875. 0.875. So, in other words, the slenderness ratio now becomes 0.875 times 2475 divided by 0.3 times 700. Not a slenderness ratio of 14.44. So, in that case, or 3, 4, 3, 8. Yeah, 48. Okay, so 14.40. So in this case now, since the the criteria now for brace against or not brace against side sway, ayan, no? Ito ba yon? Or parang hindi ito no? Ayan, so brace ba yung ano natin? Withdrawal. So brace, so meaning ang iyang criteria na is kani na itong criteria na to. So you will notice that 34 minus 12, 100 divided by 180 m1 over m2, that is 27.33. Kumbaga nga tong slenderness ratio KL over R is actually less than the 27.33. Therefore, we don't need the moment modification factor for this matter because the column is still a short column. No? It is not a slender column. Therefore, we are not going to consider the slenderness effect. All right. So, any question? No? Do you have clarification so far? Any question? On both sides. So, research on both sides on the wala na no. So, badayan ta. Okay. So, to continue, Uh, okay, so for eccentrically loaded columns, these are actually the mode of failure. No? These are the modes of failure. So modes of failure in eccentrically loaded columns, it could be tension failure or compression failure. No? And so there are two cases. If it is a tension failure, so tension still yields and compression still yields. It could be also the tension still yields and compression still does not yields. But if it is a compression failure, the tension still will not yield, but all of the compression still will yield. No? So in all these cases, the strain compatibility must be maintained. No? Kay actually naamang good tay method, no? We have actually a method wherein we can design, no, the column by simply using the compression block analysis, no? But in this case we are not going to discuss that one. We are going to go directly, no, on the use of our interaction diagram, right? Okay. Okay, so these are actually the moment magnification factor by which we are going to use this as a multiplier to magnify the moment that the column is carrying when the column is actually a slender column. So you will notice that the moment magnification factor is simply equal to C sub n m 1 all over 1 minus the PU divided by 0.75 of P sub C. Now, if it is not braced against side sway, no? If it is not braced against side sway. So, meaning ang criteria ana niya is actually kani, no? Ayan, brace against side sway. Ayan. So, this is brace. So, meaning wala siya sway. And this is the unbrace. Okay, so if you notice, the C sub M here is simply 0.6 plus zero point 0.4 of M1 over M2. So, and then it should be greater or equal to zero point 0.4, especially if the curvature is if the curvature is double, so tendency this becomes negative. So na possibility, this becomes below zero point 0.4. So if that would be the case, use zero point 0.4 because this is actually the limiting factor. Now wherein the PC sub C naman is the critical load, no, the critical axial load, and P sub C critical axial load using the Euler's compression mode or compression formula. Now that is pi squared E sub C times I all over PLU over 2. Wherein the E sub I here, the flexural rigidity, dili tong automatic na imong i-subdito largo ang formula or ang value diri, no? But rather, you use this as your E sub I. Okay? Ayan. So, itong value nito. 0.4 of E sub CI all over 1 plus beta DNS. Okay? And then, if it is brace or if it is brace against side sway, it is non-sway, no? Kay brace man siya, then the critical moment is simply the maximum, di ba? Duha man ka moment ang i-carry, M1 and M2. So we use the M2 as the critical load or critical moment for the design because this is the maximum moment. So instead of using the purely M2, if it is a slender column, then we need to magnify the moment by simply multiplying it by our lambda value. Okay? And if it is brace or if it is brace against side sway or not brace against side sway, meaning naa siya swaying, then the CM for our moment magnification formula, no, is actually replaced by a value of 1.0, no? Yan. 1 divided by, same naman na sila, pero you will notice that summation na ang ato ang P sub U and P sub C. Summation siya because we are going to account no all the redundant columns na in one frame. So meaning kung naakaisa ka direction sa mga frame diya, di ba, ang ato ang floor plan iyaman ang patag subscript na grid line A, B, C or grid line 1, 2, 3 and so on. So kung unsa na ang grid line, imo to i-consider tanan column in that particular grid line. So that is why naatay summation. So meaning this is actually the ultimate load that the columns are actually carrying on a single grid line. And if those columns in a single grid line has of different dimensions, the tendency lalain na silang value sa ilang critical action load. But if those columns are of the same dimension, then all you have to do is to solve for the critical action load, the pi squared EI all over KL square, then multiply it by the number of column. Then that gives us the value of our moment magnification factor. And then the moment is actually equal, or the critical moment now is actually equal to MNS plus reduction factor M sub S. Now, kasi naamang tayo, no, if it is braced against sides, if it is without bracing, it has a sway, then natay duha klase nga moment ana, no? The moment which does not produce a relative or significant swaying, and the moment that will produce a relatively huge or high swaying value. So that will also be given in all the different formulas that we have. So for example, no, moment solving for the moment magnification factor. So here we have this particular example. A tide column shown is 300 by 375. It is to be used in a frame braced against side sway. No? The column is bent in a single curvature about XY and has an unsupported length of 4.8 meters. So assume that K is 0.83. So meaning in this case, we don't need the alignment chart, no, to solve for the K, so since it is already given. The column carrying an unfactored dead load axial load of 134 kilonewton, and we use FC prime as 27.6 megapascal and Fy for 104.6 megapascal. The column is actually a normal weight column. So what are we going to solve is compute the critical load of the column, compute the moment magnification factor. Therefore, no, obviously, this is actually a slender column. Kaya ipasolve ba kag moment magnification factor. And lastly, we compute the centricity of this particular load. So for the critical load, no, we use P sub C, pi squared EI, all over KL square, wherein for the Young's modulus of elasticity for concrete, that is derived by a value of 4,700 times the square root of FC prime. So it will give us a Young's modulus of elasticity of 24,692 megapascal. And for the cross-sectional area naman, then we have BH cube over 12. So that is 300 times 375 cube over 12. It will give us a moment of inertia of 1,318.4 times 10 to the power of 6 millimeter to the 4. Okay? And the beta DNS is simply equal to, this is actually equal to 1.2 of the dead load all over the ultimate load that the column is carrying. Wherein in this case, P sub U is already given. That is actually 490 ito. No? While the dead load, unfactored dead load is 134. So we factor out that dead load. That would be our sustained load. And the P sub U is the ultimate load. So meaning beta DNS is simply equal to the sustained factored load divided by the total compression load. So it will give us a beta DNS of 0.328. So meaning the flexural rigidity that we are going to use here, using this particular formula, 0.4 of EI all over 1 plus beta DNS, that will give us an EI of 9,805.4 times 10 to the power of 9. Okay? So, meaning in that case, if we substitute the value, we will have a critical axial load of 6,097 kilonewton. Okay, and then for the moment magnification factor, first, before solving for the moment magnification factor, let us check whether it is a slender or short column. So, meaning in that case, we substitute the value of our TL over R and also M1 over M2, we will notice that 35.41 is greater than 22. Diba? 22 man ang atong criteria dani. So, meaning, if it is less than 22, then it is a slender column, then we need to solve for our moment magnification factor. In this case, we have C sub n 0.6 plus 0.4 M1 over M2, and that gives us a value of 0.9826. And use that to solve or to evaluate our moment magnification factor. So that is C sub m is 0.986. So moment magnification factor now becomes Cm all over 1 minus PU divided by 0.75 PC. So that will give us a moment modification factor of 1.1. So since it is braced against sideway, all you have to do is to multiply the maximum moment by the moment modification factor. That becomes 1.1 times 116. No? We have two moments here, 102 and 116. Mas dako kasi 116. So mo na itong butangan of moment magnification factor. So instead of designing it using the actual load of 116, we are going to design it based on a critical load of 127.6, no? Because kanang sobra anak niya, no, mo na ang account sa tuang slenderness effect, no? So in that case, since we already know that moment is simply equal to the concentrated load times the eccentricity, then therefore eccentricity is simply moment divided by the actual load. It will give us a value of 260 millimeters. Alright, so any question with regards to question number 1 or sample problem number 1? Do you have questions?